Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about man-eaters. These are some of my favorite film characters in horror movies. I love the stereotypical man-eater. Just whatever form they may take. It might be a succubus, it might be an unhinged woman, but I love a crazy woman, so yeah, let's get into it. First up, we have one that I think you guys probably all know. This is Jennifer's Body with Megan Fox. This movie is about a teenage girl named Jennifer who really wants to see a band play. So they go to a small bar and they see this band play, but little does she know that the band wants to sacrifice her for fame. So Jennifer gets sacrificed, spoiler alert, and becomes a succubus. She just eats a bunch of men in this movie. But Megan Fox plays such a good man-eater. She is so believable in that role because I genuinely think that a lot of men could be lured by Megan Fox. I think I would be lured by Megan Fox. This movie is just quintessential. It's very Y2K. It has a lot of cute outfits. It has a pretty good queer storyline, even though it's mostly just subtext. But I really like this one. Next up, we have the movie Tamara. This one's a little unheard of. I don't hear very many people talking about it, but it is about a young girl who's in high school named Tamara, and she gets bullied really badly, but she's really into witchcraft, and then there's this prank that goes wrong. She ends up dead, and then she comes back as a cool, sexy girl, I guess. She comes back and she gets her revenge, and this is another quintessential man-eater movie. Very similar to Jennifer's Body. If you like Jennifer's Body, you'll probably like this one. It's not as good as Jennifer's Body. It's a little cheesy. Don't be expecting perfection with this one, but still really fun, still really campy. A great little movie to turn your brain off to. Next up, we have one of my favorite movies of all time. This is Ginger Snaps. Now, Ginger Snaps is just so good. I cannot stress this enough. I love this movie. But it's about a girl named Ginger and her little sister, and they're really morbid and kind of obsessed with death for some reason, and they don't really like being teenage girls, but unfortunately Ginger gets bit by a werewolf and she starts to transform. It has a lot of very interesting allegories, and I think that this one is very well written. I think there's more going on than what you initially see on the surface. So if you want something that you're going to think about a bit more, this is a good one because I love a classic werewolf story. I don't think we get enough female werewolves. And you also get the man-eater element as well as commentary on womanhood in general. So this one's great. Highly recommend. You guys gotta check this one out. Next up, we have one that maybe isn't technically a man-eater movie, but I would classify it as that. And this is Lisa Frankenstein. This is one of the more recent ones that's come out. And I saw this one in theaters and literally could not stop thinking about it for months. It's about a girl named Lisa who's very odd. A lot of people think she's strange, and she summons a zombie boy who essentially becomes her boyfriend slash defender. And she has some really funny, interesting monologues in this film. And I think that if you're a weird girl, you can kind of relate to Lisa a lot. I just really like the aesthetic of this movie. It's very 80s and it's very campy, and the outfits are incredible that Lisa wears. So if you want something that's very visually appealing cinematography wise, this is a good one to check out. It looks amazing. I thought the acting was really good. Catherine Newton is one of my favorite up and coming stars. I've been watching her career since Paranormal Activity 4, and I think she's gonna go amazing places. So this one is just a great one to check out just because it's an overall good movie, and it does have some man-eater elements in it because she just really hates basic men. She just loves her zombie boy. So yeah, if you like oddball couples and weird girls, this is a good one to check out. Next up, we have another very popular one. This one's Gone Girl. This one is the definition of good for her, because it's about a couple named Amy and Nick, and on the outside they have a very perfect relationship, but once Amy goes missing, the press starts to kind of dig into their life and realize that it wasn't as perfect as it seems, and Nick becomes a suspect in the whole thing. Now, Amy has some fantastic monologues, including my favorite monologue of all time, and that is the cool girl monologue. This monologue just really opened my eyes to something that I noticed in cinema for a while, mostly with like the Mila Kunis type of characters, the definition of the cool girl. And I notice this all the time in rom-coms, and I always thought, oh shoot, I should be a cool girl. So when I was a kid, I would always try to emulate those women. But then I realized that like they don't really exist. They're just a movie trope. So she has a very interesting monologue. Amy's crazy, like actually unhinged. So if you want a really, really well-written movie, really well acted, and just a crazy woman that you feel like you shouldn't root for, but you do, then check out Gone Girl. Next up, we have a cheesy 90s one. This one is Devil in the Flesh, starring Rose McGowan, and I think that she's the definition of a man-eater. I always thought that she played those roles really well. This is about a young girl named Debbie whose mother mysteriously dies in a fire. And she goes to live with her grandma, and she starts to develop a very obsessive crush on her teacher. And things start to escalate to a very crazy level. Debbie is not a normal girl, but man, is she stylish. I love the outfits in this movie. The 90s vibes are incredible. I just think that it's really cheesy and really silly. Not the best movie on this list by far, but I still think it's a great movie. Next up, we have the movie The Crush. This movie stars Alicia Silverstone, who plays the character of Adrian, who is a 14-year-old girl, and then there is a young writer named Nick, who moves into their like little guest house area. He rents a room. Adrian becomes very fascinated by Nick. And of course, Nick is an adult man, so he's really not totally interested. There's some weird boundaries that are crossed. I don't know. Nick was a little sketch for me in this movie. Adrian becomes very obsessed, and when Nick doesn't pay the affections back per se, she starts to go freaking crazy. Now, Alicia Silverstone is so good in this role because even though she's a 14-year-old girl, she is absolutely terrifying. I mean, 14-year-old girls are kind of terrifying in general, but she takes it to another level to the point where I would be really scared of her. This is a good one if you just want to watch a young girl spiral and a lot happens. It's very frustrating to watch because there's so much that could have been prevented in this movie, but Nick is kind of an idiot, I won't lie. Little fun 90s one. Campy, not the most critically acclaimed, but still really good to watch. Next up, we have another 90s fave with Drew Barrymore. I love Drew Barrymore. She's awesome. This movie is called Poison Ivy and is about a young girl named Sylvie who meets a cool new friend, Drew Barrymore, named Ivy. And Ivy doesn't have a stable home situation or anything, and so she's really jealous of Sylvie's situation. So she starts to get really, really close to Sylvie. And then she kind of tries to steal Sylvie's life by doing a lot of really messed up things that I won't spoil. Drew Barrymore is really interesting in this role. I think that Ivy's character as a whole is very interesting, and just the dynamic of Ivy and Sylvie and the entire family that gets involved. This is just another kind of campy, cheesy 90s movie, but it's actually really well acted, and I think it's kind of underrated. I think that a lot of these random 90s movies like Devil in the Flesh and Poison Ivy just kind of get like set aside. I don't know if they came out in theaters or if they were popular in theaters because I was like a baby, but I'm kind of curious if they were really popular at the time or more like straight to DVD type of vibes. But I think that these movies are all really fun. Let me know if you guys check out any of these movies. Let me know your favorite Maneater movies, especially if there's one I didn't mention on this list, because I love watching them and I need more to watch because I think I've run out at this point, but these are my favorite ones. I love a crazy woman. I love the good for her genre. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a really interesting video that I'm scripting right now that will be out about Playboy. So that's a really interesting topic. I love Y2K topics. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe or turn on your post notifications so you know when I post that. But I hope you guys enjoy these movies, and yeah, bye guys.